Hi there, Ladybridge parents and carers. Really disappointed to give you this news that we found out yesterday afternoon that a learner in year 7 has had a positive test result for COVID-19. So we got in touch with with the families from his form group yesterday to let them know, yesterday evening it was, to let them know that they definitely have to self-isolate. Then this morning we got the news that a year 10 learner has tested positive. I won't go through all the ins and outs of all the different conversations that I've had, but the bottom line is I've then just in the last hour got off from a meeting, just in the last hour finished a meeting with Bolton Public Health and with a representative from local authority, where the decision's been made that we're going to have to close the year 7 and year 10 bubbles. So by that we mean those two year groups have got to self-isolate. There's a connection between the year 7 learner and the year 10 through a sibling of the year 10 learner. And due to the extent of the mixing that there's been within those bubbles, so not across bubbles, but within those bubbles in year 7, and within those bubbles in year 10, we have to close those bubbles. So if it were the case that we could narrow it down and that the year 7 and the year 10 learner had only been into contact with a small number of people within their class, say, then you wouldn't have to close the entire bubble and get everyone self-isolate. But because of the extent of the mixing, which inevitably you get in a secondary school, particularly for the year 10, where they're in different classes for different option subjects, there's no way around it. It would be reckless to then allow all of the learners from that bubble to remain in school, or any of the learners in that bubble to remain in school when they may well have contracted the virus. It's unbelievably disappointing, the start to the year, as I said in the message that I did yesterday, has been brilliant. It's been an excellent start. This is the last thing we need. Our learners have come back desperate to learn, really happy, really focused. It's been a brilliant start. It's just the last thing we need. So in terms of where we stand then, the year 7 learner was last in school on Friday the 4th of September. So the 2 weeks, or the 14 days, 2 weeks, same thing, from that point, which means that year 7 won't be able to return until Monday the 21st of September. So that's a week on Monday. The learner developed symptoms last weekend, and the family unfortunately weren't able to get a test until Tuesday, and then they got the result on the Friday. So it was all too slow. But I hope you appreciate that it's nothing that we can control as a school. It's nothing to do with us. The year 10 learner was last in school on Wednesday just gone, Wednesday the 9th. And therefore year 10s will have to isolate until Thursday the 24th. They developed symptoms on the Wednesday evening, and they were then tested the following day. They got the result today, this morning. People are typically contagious for 48 hours prior to developing symptoms. So anyone who was in close contact with these 2 learners who have been in school during the 48 hours before they developed symptoms could, in theory, have contracted the virus. I've put there the information from the national guidance. All right, so let me be as clear as I can. Your son or daughter, if you've got a son or daughter in year 7 or year 10, they have to self-isolate for 14 days. The rest of the household do not have to self-isolate unless anyone else in the household starts to develop symptoms. Okay, these are not my rules. This is the government guidance. Your son or daughter must not go to school. I've got a link in there to the COVID-19 symptoms. I'll ignore that. That's Miss Zammit helping me out. I've put in the link to the symptoms now. And I've put in there as well that, just to make it again very clear, if you develop symptoms, you must self-isolate at home and arrange to get a test. Okay, so all of us, as I put in the message yesterday, for all of us, if anyone in our household develops symptoms, the symptoms are linked there. You know what they are, I'm sure anyway, but they're there. You must arrange to get a test. Now, there's more test sites in Bolton opening up every day. There's these drop-in sites, these pop-up sites. So that they are increasing the testing capacity. It is unbelievably frustrating, incredibly frustrating, that due to the delay in getting the test result for the year 7 learner, it meant that year 7s last week were all in school, were all mixing when they should have been self-isolating. Just to be crystal clear, because I've already had some emails from parents about this, we only found out yesterday afternoon that there is nothing more we can do than that. We acted immediately. We've been on this, continuously since that time. There's nothing more we can do. We don't have any control over how long it takes to get a test and how long it takes for the test results to come through. We have no control on that. If the testing capacity can increase in the way I'm told it's going to, that's going to help massively. Because when we get the test results back quickly, we can then act very quickly and make sure people aren't mixing within those bubbles, and we can make sure people get isolated quickly before they potentially pass it on. But that we don't control the testing. Let us know if someone in the household is getting tested. Let the school know. Families have been doing that, and if you could keep doing that. Just to be clear, it is impractical and unwise, and I won't go into the full detail now, but feel free to get in touch with me about it if you wish to do so, to then notify everyone when someone is being tested who is within the Ladybridge community. Right now, of course, if you include all of our households, all of our staff, there's multiple different tests which are going on now that we're waiting for the results for. We can't let all of you know about all of that. It's impossible and impractical and probably illegal from a GDPR point of view. It's a massive shame. I mean, shame doesn't really do it justice, really. It's not a strong enough word, but it's a massive shame that this has happened just after we've been open for just over a week. As I say, the learners have been amazing since they came back. All those fears about what young people were going to be like when they returned, we've not really seen very many issues at all. Our learners have been amazing, and it's so disappointing. I must say, particularly for the year 7s who are just starting to settle in, and then they're having to be out for a week. So it's really disappointing. You will receive a message from us, an email from us on Monday to let you know what learning needs to be completed from home. It's a bit simpler for the year 10s because they can get onto Microsoft Teams and access things there. Year 7 know how to log in. They may know how to use their email, or they may not. So we need to come up with something different for year 7. So we're working on that, and we will email you with some more information to give you a bit of a steer on what they can do from home. Right, I'll leave it there so I can get this out to you as quick as I can. Thanks again for all your support with everything. Yeah, we're doing everything that we can. Keep in touch with us about testing and where things are at with you and your family, and we'll keep working together. That email address that we've used before, the keep in touch one, which is on previous letters and emails from me, is a good one to use. So keep in touch at ladybridgehigh.co.uk. I'll leave it there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.